Hey, welcome to another edition of the OTE podcast. I'm Eric,
I'm Joe.
and today we're going to start with the Black Hole podcast recap.
Recap of the black hole.
Recap of the Black Hole, yes.
Recap of the black hole.
This week you have some interesting thoughts on being a loner. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh,
We can
yes.
Go back and forth about that.
Yes, it was about the downsides of being a loner. A lot of people talk about being independent, going your own way, doing your own thing, but rarely do people talk about the downsides of that. You know, with everything you do, for every action, there's going to be a reaction. For every plus, there's going to be a minus. And
exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about there. My little thoughts on that. As being a loner myself my whole life, then just want to put that out there a little bit. What'd you think about it?
I thought it was very good. I think you hit on some key topics, key points in your topic about being a loner. I would say that one thing that really stood out was the aspect of not being able to, when you're a loner and you want to do your own thing, you know how to play well with others, you just don't. It's just not something natural to you.
Yeah, it doesn't come natural.
Yeah, so when being able to be around people is one thing, but able to interact with them and to kind of network with them to find other opportunities. And when you're a loner, that those opportunities are few and far between. Knowing how to kind of, I think you said smooth, sort of grease the wheels.
Network.
Yeah, networking.
Yeah, and that can hold you back. A lot of people don't understand their true nature, their true character, who they truly are at the core. A lot of people don't understand that, and they go to situations not knowing that, and they wonder why is this difficult for me? Why isn't this working?
Exactly.
Well, some stuff it's going to be near impossible for you to accomplish just based because who you are. You have to find a very creative way to do things.
Yeah, and I think just understanding your nature, understanding that, okay, you have to go a different route and try to accomplish your goals. You can still be a loner. It's just, okay, now that you have YouTube, you can try to sort of get your thoughts out there. And I think that's you're doing that with your Black Hole podcast, with some of the things, other adventures or content that you're putting out. I think the space that we're in currently in our life, in our society, with technologies enabling loners, people that have a certain particular niche and interest, able to get their content, their thoughts out, and their opinions out. If you aren't naturally, gregarious, or you're not a natural extrovert.
Yeah, and this is probably the first time that's possible, because in the past, to reach people, to have any sort of audience, you had to be the charismatic guy that was willing to get on stage, willing to preach in front of that crowd, and move the crowd. I mean, that's a good talent to have, but everybody can't do that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people be able to actually have a voice now that would never had a voice in the past.
It's like YouTube used to say, broadcast yourself. Like, that's allowed individuals to really come to the forefront and really pique a lot of other interest, people that are viewing that content, pique their interest, and give them the confidence to do their own thing too.
Yeah, one person can do it, another person can do it.
Yeah, like a domino effect in a positive way.
Exactly.
Another thing I wanted to get into was, yes, you are maybe a natural introvert, a loner, someone that really doesn't, gravitate towards the crowd or gravitate towards people. You like your solitude. What role do you think your family has played in that, if any?
I think once you're in the middle, it's easy to kind of float away and do your thing. Now, when you're at the beginning, like when you're first born, when you're like the last, you get more attention.
So order.
I think that, I think that does, because you're able to blend in and just kind of slip off when you're one of many, and that does affect it. So maybe you would think maybe people that were only child, maybe they're loners more, but maybe because they're only child, they might be more eager and seek out more interaction because they had less interaction. Or maybe on the flip side, they even worse at having interaction with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they even more are bigger loners.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could think of it that way too.
Yeah.
Well, now what about yourself? Would you consider yourself a loner? What do you consider
I would
yourself?
probably consider myself a loner.
A bit. Yeah.
A loner that does enjoy company. Does enjoy understanding, learning about people. I guess I'm a little bit of both in the sense that I know that you have to interact with people. Not saying that you can't, obviously, because I've seen you do it probably on a larger scale than I do. So, but because of my circumstance, I, in a way, I'm forced to do it because I am married, a loner that is married. I do have a child, so it's going to be a lot of birthday parties, a lot of functions. I do play some sports, so that natural, a natural, I don't know what you would call it, like that natural element of just having people around is kind of, I can't really get away from that.
Yeah.
But yes, I do enjoy my alone time, and that's my profession. Well, I'm giving so much of myself emotionally and intellectually. Makes it where I like to recharge when I'm not doing those things. So I think, yes, I enjoy my alone time, but knowing that that's going to be, that alone time's not going to be very much.
Yeah, so you got to make it count. You got to make your alone time count.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Even if someone is very social, very out there, they have to take a little time to decompress by themselves, take a little time to breathe, evaluate things. I know too many people that are just always going. Yeah. They're always just going. Exactly. Always here, always there, and they can't be alone. Mm-hmm. They cannot be by themselves. They always have to have someone with them. Go out. They can never just be by themselves and with themselves, and they get anxious.
Yeah. There's a lot of anxiety, I think, because that person isn't comfortable with who they are. It's kind of like they have to be, not all, but I think some. I think every person has to look at that within themselves. Again, it goes back to knowing yourself. Like, why do you feel the need to always be into something or have people around you? Is it because you don't want to be alone with your thoughts? If you don't, what does that create in you when you cannot be alone?
And what are you afraid? What are you afraid of finding? What are you afraid of that will come to the surface?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thoughts. The people can distract you. Distract your thoughts. Distract your growth. And what are you maybe afraid of, or you don't want to maybe look at into a little deeper within yourself, your own psyche, and that can be, people can distract you, and you use that as a distraction from growth.
Yeah, often people, they find things to distract themselves. It could be people, it could be substances,
television.
You have TV. A lot of people get lost in celebrity, TV, social media, anything, politics. That's a big one.
Yeah.
To me, politics have kind of eaten into what sports used to be in a way.
Yeah, it is. True.
Sports used to be this dominant force in life. Now, politics have eaten into sports a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are used to be in the sports are super into politics.
Yeah.
Because maybe the two just started getting melted together.
Yeah.
And so now,
like now you ruin that party's now your home team now.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
And the politicians are they should have politician jerseys. Like
Trump could sell it.
He could.
If Trump sold jerseys, people would rock Trump jerseys.
Yeah. Hey, that's our idea.
Yeah.
That's our idea. You heard it here first.
Trump jerseys. That might be a good idea. Trump 2024 is what 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to look into that.
Yeah, copyright.
Yeah,
trademark that.
I can't see no one rocking a Biden jersey. I know one's gonna rock a Biden jersey.
Obama jersey.
Yeah, go Obama. People will buy a throwback Obama. They'll buy a throwback Obama jersey.
A Harris jersey. I'm sure.
Maybe no Biden. Ain't no gonna rock a Biden jersey. Man.
Oh.
No Joe Biden.
Okay, get back on topic. So I think the closest out, I also want to know, that was interesting. Where do you, I'm a loner to a certain degree.
Yes.
I have a child. I have a, active social life in a lot of respects. So, have you thought about the future and settling down with somebody, and how do you think that will look?
The only the main issue I can think about that might pop up is okay, every day seeing the same person every day. And they have different needs and different a different timetable.
Yeah.
You know, they might want to. I get off work, like for instance, my first off day, right? What I'll do is I like to spend the whole day pretty much not going around anyone, just being by myself the entire day. You know, and then my next off days, I'll actually do some stuff. That's what I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once I'm married, cohabitating, doing all that, anytime I'm home, I'm pretty sure it's going to be, I won't have all the time to myself anymore. So that's going to be an adjustment to make. But I'm pretty flexible, so I get search of my solitude quite well. You know, I've been doing it all my whole life. Even the car ride to work, a little time and taking a walk outside, I can get little doses of solitude, and I'm okay with that. So I'll make it work because for the greater good, the greater cause here that I want to achieve. So,
Okay.
and, you've been doing something for what 40 years. You can change. You can
Can
change
you?
slightly.
Some people say that you can't teach your old dog new tricks.
Well, it's not about teaching. It's about okay. You've done this enough. Do you want to continue the same way, or are you open to change?
Okay, so you're talking about evolution.
Evolving.
Yeah.
Yes. Moving
Growth.
forward. You're gonna be who you are, you're gonna do what you do, but you can do what you do differently. You can be yourself slightly differently.
Sounds good.
That's it for today. Stay tuned for the next
Edition of the Black Hole Recap on OTE.